Friends, gather round, for tonight we delve into the world of international trade. Don't worry, it's more exciting than watching paint dry on C-SPAN. We're talking tariffs, those pesky little taxes on imported goods. And who better to guide us through this labyrinth of economic jargon than the man who loves a good tariff more than he loves tweeting at 3 in the morning? You guessed it, Donald J. Trump. Now, our dear former president has proposed some doozies in his day, but his latest tariff scheme takes the proverbial biscuit. We're talking tariffs ranging from a modest 10% to an eye-watering 50% on goods from countries far and wide. That's right, folks, from the bustling metropolises of Europe to the remote islands you'd struggle to find on a map. No one is safe from the wrath of Trump's tariffs. But why, you ask, this sudden urge to slap taxes on everything but the kitchen sink? Well, according to the man himself, it's all about fair trade and bringing back American jobs. Sounds great in theory, right? But as with most things Trump touches, the reality is a tad more complicated, like trying to explain the plot of Tenet after a bottle of tequila. So how does one go about calculating these tariffs, you ask? Is there some complex economic formula involving algorithms and supercomputers? Sadly, no. It seems our former president, in his infinite wisdom, has opted for a more intuitive approach. Picture this: Trump, hunched over a map of the world, a Sharpie in hand, deciding tariff rates based on the size of a country's trade surplus with the US. They send us too many cars? 40% tariff? Too much cheese? 25%. Those pesky Canadians and their delicious maple syrup? 50%. Take it or leave it. You see, it's all about the Benjamins, folks. Never mind the fact that economists have been tearing their hair out trying to explain that trade deficits aren't inherently bad. This simplistic approach, my friends, is about as effective as trying to put out a forest fire with a squirt gun. It ignores the complexities of global trade, the interconnectedness of supply chains, and the fact that slapping tariffs on imports will likely lead to retaliatory tariffs on our exports. It's a lose-lose situation, much like that time Trump tried to explain healthcare. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the recession-shaped cloud looming over our economy. Economists, those perpetual buzzkills, are warning that Trump's tariffs could send the US economy spiraling into a recession faster than you can say trade war. And it's not just the US that needs to be worried. This economic contagion could spread faster than a TikTok trend, dragging the global economy down with it. But wait, there's more. As if a recession wasn't bad enough, we've also got inflation to contend with. Remember those tariffs we talked about earlier? Well, they're about to make everything from cars to washing machines more expensive. So not only will you be out of a job, but you also won't be able to afford a new TV to drown your sorrows. And if you think you're safe because you work in a sector that has nothing to do with international trade, think again. These tariffs are like a bad case of the flu. They'll eventually infect everyone. The housing market stalled, the stock market tanking, your retirement savings. Let's just say you might want to hold off on buying that yacht. Now, some of you might be thinking, this all sounds a bit familiar, like a bad sequel we've seen before. And you'd be right, because this isn't the first time the US has flirted with the disastrous consequences of protectionist trade policies. Remember the Great Depression? No, well, ask your grandparents. They'll tell you all about it. Back in the 1930s, during the depths of the Great Depression, the US decided to implement the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. It was like Trump's tariffs on steroids, slapping huge taxes on thousands of imported goods. The result, well, let's just say it didn't exactly help matters. In fact, many economists believe that Smoot-Hawley actually made the Great Depression worse, deepening and prolonging the economic misery. Now, I'm not saying that Trump's tariffs will definitely lead to another Great Depression, but the parallels are there and they're frankly terrifying. We're talking about the same kind of protectionist rhetoric, the same disregard for expert advice, and the same potential for catastrophic economic consequences. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion, knowing that the driver has been warned repeatedly about the dangers ahead.